I'm Mark O'Connor. The O'Connor Band, in its second year of touring, has released its second album. It's a bluegrass and progressive jam band album. Maggie O'Connor, Kate Lee O'Connor, Forrest O'Connor are all brand new Grammy winners from our first album, Coming Home. In addition to that beautiful studio album winning a Grammy for us in 2017, the O'Connor Band has become one of the hottest live bands of virtuosos on the scene. Because this band is on an elevated fusion of academic and back porch, refinement and jam party, if you will, like a fusion of mad strumming and sophisticated counterpoint. The group is on a whole other level. The personal pedigrees are striking for bluegrass Americana music too, with the O'Connor Band. You have a Harvard graduate in Forrest tearing up the newgrass mandolin while writing insightful and thoughtful lyrics. It's Maggie and Kate, who rip up fiddle tunes, also know the inner workings of Bach sonatas, partitas, having achieved degrees at music schools. Then you have Maggie turn around to sing Shady Grove with her old-time country-style voice from her Georgia roots. And Kate channels Patsy Cline on ballads and blows away the audience like no other female singer could on Ruby, Are You Mad at Your Man?
I grew up listening to Mark's work with David Grisman, as well as his American classical compositions. And it was his work with Yo-Yo Ma that really inspired me to go to the Peabody Conservatory and get my bachelor's and master's degrees in violin performance. And one of my favorite pieces from that body of work he did is called Butterfly's Day Out. And I'm really honored to say that it is on our new live album.
Well, I grew up on my dad's music. It was very much the soundtrack of my childhood. And when I wasn't traveling around with him during the summers on tour or around him at home when he was composing, I was pretty much just listening to his music. When I got my first Discman at age 10, I had all the CDs that he'd made up to that point.
Mark's music was a big deal in my house growing up. I was especially inspired by his new Nashville Cats and all of the session work that he did on country albums that are really some of my favorite albums of all time.
The band is on fire throughout the CD. It's actually hard to believe that it came from a single night in Sellersville, Pennsylvania. There's beautiful and gorgeous arrangements of bluegrass and country classics like Little Maggie, Blue Moon of Kentucky, Faded Love, the old spiritual Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. And I end up playing 4 instruments on this CD as well, just like the old days. The newly developed aspects of music making in this group are just beautiful. A lot of 3 fiddle textures. Other times there are at least 2 of us chopping on the fiddles, creating this massive rhythmic tapestry of sound when combined with the percussive guitar and the mandolin strumming, and then slap bass breaking out too, sporadically. It is like a driving drum kit, completely made of an acoustic bluegrass band, and boy, it works. On other occasions, 2 mandolins, 2 guitars, and the singing by 3 lead singers in the group, on top of all my instrumental classics, harking back to my supergroup era of the 1980s and 90s, is a lot to take in from a single band. Part of the allure of the O'Connor Band shows this year is the fact that some of this material that we've been perfecting on stage actually does come from some of the older super picker groups from the 1980s and 1990s.
It's really been so cool to me to perform some of the very same compositions of Mark's that I listened to growing up. And it's an incredible feeling to be singing a song and listening to Mark take these wild and fantastic country and bluegrass solos while listening to my husband Forrest tearing it up on the mandolin. And Maggie is such an incredible musician. I often have a hard time telling her and Mark's playing apart because they are just so in sync. And there's just so much on this album for fiddle lovers to appreciate.
Playing double mandolins on some of this material now with my dad, and to have it be on our second album release is all pretty unreal. Audiences are definitely excited to see and hear father and son dig into these tunes together, which represent really some of the best music in this genre.
Possibly no other song on the disc is more thrilling for the audiences than Forrest's retake of Chuck Berry's Johnny Be Good. It is a fast bluegrass rap and hootenanny all at once. At times, as is the case on this live CD, I elevate on that jamming fiddle solo at the end.
I also get a real charge seeing my dad dip into his old bag of tricks to see what he pulls off on the songs we're singing in the band as well. And I think I speak for all of us in saying that it's really special to see my dad playing bluegrass again, both in our shows and on this CD.
The O'Connor Band is entertaining, and the group is full of very nice people and smart people too. It's like an American ragtime tune. It's a cakewalk. And I would say that the O'Connor Band live takes the cake.
His mother told him someday you will be a man, and you will be the leader of a big old band. Many people coming from miles around to you and play your music when the sun goes down.